Good afternoon, Africa. Good afternoon, African Confessions. I am back with another episode. First of all, I just want to say thank you to one of our admins. She's over there in China, so she helps us a lot with some of these translations. So I just want to say thank you to her. I'm going to put a link to her channel in the description box and also in the comment section. Let us get into the episode of the day. There is a message that I received and I had to ask one of our admins to give us a translation. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi. I have a secret that I want to tell you, but this secret I haven't told anyone. It is only me and my auntie who knows about this secret. This secret has been eating me up for a while now, and I thought that if I should come here and if I offload this secret off from my chest, maybe I can feel better. So what happened is that my auntie helped me to cast a spell on my husband. This was after I had found out that my husband had been cheating on me with this other lady. It was not any other woman, but my husband chose to cheat on me with my best friend. This lady was my best friend. She was like a sister to me. I used to tell her everything about my marriage. There were many times that I used to face a difficult situation in my house. Whenever I would be feeling sad, or if me and my husband had an argument, I would go to my best friend to ask for advice, but I never knew that my best friend was going to turn around and stab me in the back. She betrayed me. My best friend and my husband betrayed me. Then there was a situation back home. I was supposed to travel back home, so I left my husband and my best friend in the city because my auntie's child was sick. So auntie called me if I could come back home so that I can help her take care of her child. So when I traveled back home, my best friend and my husband, they started to sleep together. I don't know if it was the first time that they were sleeping together, or maybe all along they had been sleeping together behind my back. Because when I came back, I didn't tell my husband that I was coming back to the city. When I arrived at my place, I noticed that my best friend was now pregnant and she was now living with my husband. Because when I arrived at home, I saw that my best friend was cooking. She was acting as if she was now the woman of the house, and she was not even bothered by the fact that she had stolen my husband from me. You could tell that these two people had been in love. When I asked her what was happening, she just said that I am sorry and that is the situation right now. Like, get used to it because we are now going to be sharing the same man. When I asked her what is going on between you and my husband, how did you end up in bed with my husband, she said to me, there was this other day your husband called me. He said I should come and help him with something in the house. After I had came, he just threw me to the bed and he started touching me. After that, we started sleeping together. I didn't have any choice. I wanted to get out of the house, but there is nowhere where I could go with my children. And as for my husband, at that time, I was so scared of him because he's an aggressive person. He doesn't want to be told what to do. It is always his way and his law in the house. So I just kept quiet. I didn't even want to start an argument with him. My husband later on decided to take my best friend because my best friend was staying right next the door. So he chose that my best friend should stop staying where she was staying so that she can come over and stay with us. Mind you, at that time, we were only using 2 rooms. So my husband said to me, you are going to be sharing these 2 rooms. So I said, we cannot do that. Then he said to me, it means that I am going to give her the bedroom and you'll be staying in the kitchen. So my best friend now was now my husband's second wife. She was now staying in my bedroom. And my husband later even bought a gas stove for her so that she can cook in her bedroom. I was now in a polygamist marriage, and I couldn't dispute his decision. It was his decision that he had taken. Yes, I knew that they were in love, but to make matters worse, he had chosen to take this woman. At least if they had gone somewhere else to find another room to rent, at least I could get some peace. But now I was staying in the same household with this woman, with my best friend, knowing that she had stolen my man from me. And my husband said to me, I want you to behave and I want you to get along with your friend just like you used to. I don't want you to fight with your friend. Just love her and know that she is now my second wife. And I want you to keep this polygamous marriage a secret. I don't want you to tell anyone. Don't tell any of my relatives. He never wanted anyone to know, not even my relatives. Whenever people would visit us, we were forced to pretend like we were a happy couple, and I was forced to pretend like my best friend was sort of a maid or a sister to me. It was difficult, but whenever my relatives would come, I'll just pretend that my best friend is now my helper. So as time went on, I realized that my husband had fallen in love with my best friend. My husband loved my best friend more than he loved me. He never even tried to hide it, even when people were around. Instead of keeping it a secret, like he had told me that we must keep this a secret from the whole community, instead of him pretending like he had said that we should pretend, now he was showing everyone that he had taken my best friend to be his wife. My husband will just give it away that he's actually in love with my best friend. It was as if my best friend had cast a love spell on him. I felt so betrayed by my husband and by my best friend. I couldn't bear the thought that today he was going to be having sexual intercourse with my best friend. Then tomorrow he will be expecting that when he comes to my bed, I should enjoy sleeping with him. I felt so disgusted whenever you would force to have sexual intercourse with me. The pain was just severe, especially when I would see my husband being all over my best friend. I felt like I was now an outsider in my own house. I tried staying. I tried to pretend that everything is going to be okay. I tried to tell myself that there are other women out there who are also in the same polygamous relationships. I tried to comfort myself that this did not start with me. Even in the past, there were people who were involved in these polygamous marriages. But still the pain was just too much. Whenever I would look at my best friend, I would feel so betrayed. In the end, I ended up packing my bags, taking my kids, and I left them. I just said to myself, let them enjoy their love. Maybe I am the one who is disturbing them. I decided to go back to my parents, but on my way, I said to myself, let me stop by my auntie's place to see how she is doing. When she saw me that I had all my kids, she asked me, how were things at home? Then I said, Auntie, things are not okay. I explained it to her that when I had came over to the village to assist her in taking care of her sick child, my husband had chosen to take my best friend to be his second wife. Auntie was so hurt. As my auntie was speaking to me, she asked me if I still love my husband, and I said, yes, Auntie, yes, of course, I still do love my husband. If I divorce my husband right now, look at the economy. How am I going to take care of all these kids? I have to stick by my husband. This is the decision that he has taken, that he wants a second wife. But as for now, there is nowhere where I can get the money to take care of our kids. So I have to love my husband just for the sake of our kids. So as I was speaking, Auntie said to me, do not worry, I have a decision that I have taken. I think that I should go with you to see someone. Then we went to this traditional healer. My auntie had told me that this traditional healer was someone who can help me to get back my husband. All that I wanted was to win back the heart of my husband. We went there. When we arrived there, that traditional healer gave me some instructions about what I needed to do so that I can win back the heart of my husband. He told me that I should take some ashes and I should rub them on my husband's underwear. But since I was no longer staying with my husband, I knew that it was going to be very difficult. So what I did, I called my husband and I told him that we needed some money for some basic stuff. When I called my husband, he was so happy that now I was asking money from him. He still wanted me to be his wife, and he said to me I should send one of our kids to come back to the city so that our child can fetch the money from him. I then told my child whom I was going to send to the city, I said to her, when you get to your father's place, you must take these ashes and you must rub them against your father's underwears. And that is what my child did. I, on the other side, me and my auntie, we also did a ritual that was supposed to be done. After a while, when my child came back, I stayed for a while hoping that my husband will eventually come back to me, but he never did. Instead, things got worse on his side. I later heard that my best friend had ran away from our household and she had went back to where she was staying at first, right next door. My best friend was now cheating with several men where she was staying, and she ended up breaking up with my husband. My husband later lost his job. After my husband had lost his job, he started calling me 24/7. Whenever my husband would call me, he would always say to me, "Please, can you release me? I know that there are things that you have done to me. All that I am asking from you is, can you please release me?" My husband kept on calling me each and every day. He would be like, "Please, can you release me? I know that there are things that you have done to me. Can you please release me? You are the reason why my wife has run away from me. Can you just release me?" And he was saying that I was the reason why he had gotten fired from his job. He asked me, how will he be able to work and take care of me and the kids if I was refusing to release him? But whenever he would ask me to release him, I denied knowing anything. I said, "I don't know what you are talking about. I never did any ritual. This bad luck that is following you, it is because of your behavior. Look how you betrayed me. I never went anywhere to consult any traditional healer. I didn't cast any bad spell upon you. It is God who is taking his revenge on you." The reason why I was denying all of his accusation, it was because I wasn't sure if it was the ritual that was causing all of this, because according to the traditional healer that we had consulted, me and my auntie, he had gave us the guarantee that my husband will come back to me, and he never said anything about my husband losing his job. But my husband kept on calling me, giving me several complaints. All along, when he was calling me, asking me to release him, I was keeping this as a secret from my auntie because I was afraid to tell my auntie. But later I had to tell her. This was after my husband had told me that his manhood was no longer working. So I said to auntie, "Auntie, those things that we did, my husband is calling me, is facing bad luck. Now he is saying that his manhood is no longer working. What are we supposed to do, auntie? I don't want my husband to die." My auntie then said to me, "When we get the money, we have to travel back to that village so that we can speak with that traditional healer." Mind you, the village where we had gone to consult with that traditional healer, it was quite a distance from the village where we were staying with my auntie, so we had to look for the money first. After we had gotten the money, we traveled to that village, but I was shocked when we arrived in the village. There was a funeral of that traditional healer. That traditional healer had just passed on a few days earlier. We were shocked. Me and auntie, we were both shocked. We didn't know what we were supposed to do, so we came back to our village. After a while, I heard that my husband had been involved in a car accident. When my husband was involved in the car accident, he didn't have a seatbelt on. So because of the impact, it was too much. He was thrown out of the car And now my husband can't even properly walk. He can't even urinate. For him to urinate, my husband has to use a tube. These days he is using a tube to urinate. So his relatives are constantly calling me to come so that I can take care of him. I know that my husband's relative, they are not saying this because they love me or what, but I think that they are saying this so that they can take off their burden on me. They don't want to take care of their sick relative. So I need to know if I should do it. Should I go back to my husband and take care of him, now knowing that he is not a man anymore? The way that he is urinating, I don't think that even his manhood is still there. And sometimes when I say that I should move on with my life, but I feel so sad for him because I feel bad. I think that I am the one who caused him to be like this. But also, if I think of doing it, what is going to happen tomorrow? This burden will forever be on me. What am I going to do with a man who uses a tube to urinate? Please help me with advice. Dear listeners, right there was a message that I received from Anonymous. Then one of our admins had to give us a translation, thanking her for this translation and hoping that you were able to understand this confession. Let us meet again in the following episode.